Welcome to EQAI Morning Briefing for September 9th, your daily dose of the latest news and insights. Let's dive right in with today's top stories. First up, if you're 64 with $400,000 in CDs and a high-yield savings account, you might be wondering, should you invest in bonds? With interest rates going down, CDs might not be a viable option for long. It's crucial to explore other stable investment avenues like bonds to ensure your money continues to grow. In the biotech world, Summit Therapeutics stock jumped over 30% pre-market on Monday. The company revealed late-stage trial data showing its experimental lung cancer treatment outperformed Merck's Keytruda. This is a significant milestone for Summit, and investors are taking notice. KeyCorp is set to book a $700 million loss on the sale of securities as part of efforts to reposition their balance sheets with higher-yielding assets. This move reflects a broader trend among financial firms adjusting to rising interest rates. Elon Musk's SpaceX is targeting Tuesday for the historic Polaris Dawn launch. However, weather conditions are only 40% favorable, so keep an eye out for updates. This mission has already faced delays, so fingers crossed for clear skies. U.S. crude oil prices have rebounded after experiencing their worst week since 2023. Goldman Sachs expects OPEC Plus to increase production in December, forecasting Brent to trade between $70 and $85 per barrel. Whole Foods. CEO Jason Bushell swears by avoiding back-to-back meetings to boost productivity. This strategy allows him to focus on long-term vision and strategy, a tip worth considering for those looking to optimize their workday. Squarespace's stock climbed towards a 3-year high after private equity firm Permira raised its buyout bid to $7.2 billion. This move has investors excited about the company's future prospects. MBX Biosciences has set IPO terms with plans to raise up to $136 million, joining the IPO pipeline just days after 2 other biotech companies announced their planned deals. In tech news, Apple's iPhone 16 event is coming up, but some argue that Apple needs to be more revolutionary to save its stock. While CEO Tim Cook has been a commendable leader, some feel he's no Steve Jobs. Former European Central Bank President Mario Draghi has called for massive investments to boost Europe's stagnant economy. However, he backtracked on the need for a joint debt instrument, leaving some investors confused. First American Financial disclosed a $342 million loss on the sale of bonds, becoming the latest financial services firm to reveal the pain from holding devalued assets. Palantir and Dell shares rose on news of their inclusion in the S&P 500. Analysts suggest that large-cap funds benchmarked against the S&P 500 will now be forced to consider these stocks. Can you afford to have a baby? Estimates for first-year baby expenses range from $15,000 to much more. It's essential to evaluate your financial readiness before taking the plunge. Turns. Pharmaceutical stock soared 30% after posting positive results in a trial for its weight loss drug in pill form. The company plans to move to a phase 2 trial and will present the data at an upcoming scientific conference. Banking regulators are set to unveil lightened bank capital requirements in the coming days. This overhaul aims to address complaints from banks that higher capital requirements could limit their lending capabilities. Nvidia's recent earnings report didn't impress Wall Street, leading to a stock pullback. Investors are advised to temper their expectations for the tech giant's future growth rate. Bond yields rose on Monday, reversing last week's slump. This shift is part of broader market trends as investors seek stability. Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw is under investigation for potential misconduct. The railroad operator has retained a law firm to conduct an independent investigation into the allegations. U.S. oil futures rose on Monday, bouncing back after last week's rout. Investors are closely monitoring a storm that could strengthen into a hurricane and threaten the U.S. Gulf Coast later this week. Morgan Stanley's top strategist warns that a half-point interest rate cut could actually hurt stocks. Fair valuation should see the S&P 500 between 5,000 and 5,400, according to their analysis. In real estate, a homeowner in New Jersey is buying her husband out of their house. She's exploring the best way to access equity, considering options like mortgages and refinancing. And finally, a look at the stock market. Nvidia's stock is flirting with its worst week in 2 years, while Boeing's Starliner prepares to leave the ISS and return to Earth empty-handed. Investors are also eyeing the Federal Reserve's next move, with some experts calling for rate cuts. That's it for today's EQAI Morning Briefing. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow with more top stories and insights. Have a great day.